ニューヨークで行われたワールドシリーズ第5戦、ドジャース3勝、ヤンキース1勝で、ドジャースが勝てば世界一という中で迎えた今日の試合ですが、ドジャースが逆転勝ちを収め、見事世界一の称号に輝きました。今日は翻訳したい番組が多すぎて更新が遅れ申し訳ありませんが、いくつか分けて投稿していきますので、お楽しみに。お見逃しのないよう今のうちにチャンネル登録をお願いいたします。それでは早速本編へ行きましょう。
The Dodgers have won their 8th World Series championship, second in the last 5 seasons, getting it done at Yankee Stadium. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers Celebration Show. John Hartung here alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garcia-Parra, and Oral Hershiser. You'll see us in just a bit, but first we got to focus on what's going on down on the field. A lot of hugs, a lot of smiles, some tears, a lot of happy people down there on the field at Yankee Stadium. This resilient team that showed so much fight all season long. They put it all on display here in October, especially tonight in Game 5. They come back from down 5-0, Oral, and they win it 7-6. Walker Buehler comes out of the bullpen on 1 day's rest to get the final 3 outs, and the Dodgers are the world champs.
There's smiles all around. Everybody contributed to this win, whether it was the bullpen game that set up some of the arms, whether it was going through all of the arms and having to use Walker Buehler, and for an offense to do everything, the small things, taking the extra base, capitalizing on errors, sliding through the base hard to ruin a throw, whatever it took, they took advantage of the Yankee edges that they were bad at.
I'm just glad John's okay. I mean, that's first and foremost. I mean, yes, you did, John. I mean, obviously, I mean, we all did. You know, obviously, we, like every other Dodger fan out there, were just screaming and yelling and just so happy. And I think because also what we have watched this team endure over the course of the entire season and the way they have persevered, you know, that's what makes it so special. You know, every World Series is a special one that you win. But obviously, with this team, the injuries, the stuff off the field as well, families, whatever, they stuck together and they were able to get through it together, and now they can ride high together. It's just an amazing feeling. It was so amazing to watch. You know, we're such huge fans of them. We have the luxury of getting to know these guys, you know, not what we see on the screen, but off the field as well. And we know how special individuals they are as well. So they're so easy to cheer for, and you're just so happy for this moment for them and what they were able to do, not for only for each other, but for the city of Los Angeles.
This game was a perfect microcosm of this team throughout the whole season. Yes, this team has a tremendous amount of talent, but they had to go through so much adversity, especially with the starting staff. Everybody knows in order to be champions, you need to have elite pitching, especially starting pitching. Well, we lost our ace, Tyler Glasnow. Manager Dave Roberts got the team together. He doesn't give a whole lot of speech. He said, listen, we have enough here to win a championship. These guys never doubted themselves. They had each other's back. And even when this team was down 5-0, everybody, every baseball fan that's watching the stadium, all those Yankee fans, I'm sure, felt comfortable with that 5-0 lead. Everybody thought they were going to lose. They come back and try to win in L.A. Not that team. Not the 26 men on that roster. They knew, you know what? We're going to keep fighting, put ourselves in position to win, and it was fitting that they won it in this fashion. And how about Walker, I'm not going to say it, Buehler, come in there and slam the door. Another nice little piece to his legacy.
And speaking of that man, Walker Buehler, go back to when the Dodgers won the National League pennant, and he reached out to you, Oral, and he asked if he could wear, he wanted the gray road jersey, the one that you wore Game 5 when you struck out Tony Phillips to get the final out of that World Series. Little did we know that Walker Buehler would be wearing his road gray Dodger jersey in Game 5 and striking out the final batter to win a World Series tonight.
Yeah, and it was great to see him do it in a different style, right? A 3-2 curveball and then a curveball to finish off the World Series. I've been with this young man for a long time. When Rick Honeycutt was the pitching coach, he asked me to kind of mentor him. We took golf cart rides in spring training when I was in uniform and got to know each other. Our relationship has progressed to the point, like this generation, it's mostly texting. Sometimes, you know, he's busy when you get there, lifting weights or doing cardio. But for him to change his style, to realize that what he had is not there now, and then apply the new Walker Buehler to this situation, and finally learning through his personally hard head that I can be different and I can be successful and believe it in the biggest moments. Huge growth for him, and what a present for the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And that man right there, Freddie Freeman, getting a chance to hold the Commissioner's Trophy for the second time in his career, first time as a Dodger. Nomar, what can you say about Freddie Freeman's performance here in this World Series after this man could barely walk through the division series and the NLCS, missed a few games because of that ankle injury, and once he got to game one, he hit that walk-off grand slam. It was storybook stuff the entire way.
Yeah, what you can say, it's historic. I mean, what he has done. I mean, obviously, we know with the grand slam and the walk-off. And, you know, as Dodger fans, we know what Kirk Gibson's. And we were also saying, you know, it's only meaningful and it will be memorable if they win it all. Well, here he is standing with the World Series trophy and also with the MVP, because he didn't just stop there. I mean, this man is the only person in Major League history to have a home run in 6 consecutive World Series games. That is unbelievable. And what he's endured, what he's gone through with his family, with his son, knowing that he also has an extended family in each and every one of those guys, everyone around here who love him and watch him and praying for him and thoughts were with him, but also the injuries that he endured from the fingers to the ankles, everything. A Warrior goes out there. He's doing it. He'll sacrifice everything it takes to host that trophy and do it with those guys.
You know, and you guys know this. We're in the clubhouse with these guys. You know, they tell us a lot of things that we don't share on air. But these guys care. It's a long grind. These guys are dealing with a lot of injuries throughout the regular season, postseason, and it's all worth it. Taking this picture,
that one right there,
Yankee Stadium and beat a really good Yankee team and come back in dramatic fashion. That picture right there.
That's everything.
Everything.
Yeah. They won the World Series in 1981 on Yankee Stadium turf. That was the other Yankee Stadium. This is the newer Yankee Stadium, and they're doing it again tonight, taking that photo as World Series champions for 2024. Well, from here in the studio, all across Los Angeles, you see some fireworks going off out there. I just can't imagine the joy to this entire city, to all the different homes. It's something, Oral, that you'd said you didn't really fully grasp when you were a player. But I can guarantee you, having been there before, being able to celebrate a moment like this, it's going on all throughout this city. Millions of people in tears. They were jumping out of their seats, off their couches, just enjoying this moment. And what a night this is for Los Angeles, for Dodger fans across the world.
Yeah, from Freddie Freeman's swing to win Game 1 with the grand slam to the parade that they're going to have, these fans are going to erupt. They're erupting tonight, and this will continue on until the parade and the rally at Dodger Stadium. It's unbelievable. We won it in '88 on the road in Oakland, and then coming home to the airport, the masses gathered at the airport. It was impossible to even get to our buses, to get back to the stadium, to get to our cars, to go home. I can't imagine that these guys in this city are going to be prepared for when these guys arrive at LAX and the police escort back to the stadium, what they're going to go through and see all the joy that they have created.
Man, it's what I'm laughing at is, you know, when I hear your voice, John, it's because of what these guys did in that Game 1. And because of the fans being so deafening. Deafening. You know, they were so loud at Dodger Stadium. The way it erupted, the way they supported, and the way we were doing our show and we were trying to talk over them. And we loved it, right? The energy is just, it's so effective. And it wasn't just at Dodger Stadium. It was across the whole city, and we felt it. We felt that just roar, the support, and it continued. It didn't stop in just Game 1. And these guys know that, and we as former players know that. We know how important and how much we care about what the fans bring and what they mean to us and why you go out there. You do it for each other and you do it for the fans, and you know that and you recognize that, and you just see the joy right there, the excitement. And you should be celebrating because this is just a great, great moment.
And Dodger fans, you deserve this. You know, obviously, I'm not from here. I didn't grow up here, but especially people on the East Coast, West Coast, they think of L.A. as Hollywood. L.A. is so much more than that. There are so many hard-working people here that fight every single day, and they have a team out there they can celebrate. A team of fighters, down 5-0. They could have easily mailed this in. But not this team and not this city. And this is why this city loves this particular Dodger team. When injuries hit them, they kept coming. When certain circumstances happen, you know, obviously Freddie Freeman with his son, Max Strong, that family kept fighting, and they gave Freddie Freeman a standing ovation as he walked to the plate. He will never forget that. Max will never forget that. So I'm so happy for this city, entire LA area. You deserve it. This is a city of fighters and also city of champions.
And, you know, I'm just thinking, I go, you know, they channeled all the great Dodgers up there looking down and smiling down. Talk about doing it for Fernando. They did it for Fernando. Never forget that you also have, you know, all the other great Dodgers, Tommy Lasorda, Don Newcomb, Maury Will, Jack, all the way that have worn that uniform, smiling down today. And, you know, definitely smiling down and sending the energy and good vibes, and we're all grateful for this accomplishment that they were able to do.
And speaking of Fernando, the Dodgers will have their parade and rally on Fernando's birthday. Excuse me, plenty more details to come about that. But, Oral, I want to go back to Blake Trinan. We heard from you. Talk about someone who left everything out there on the field tonight. 2 1/3 innings, throws 42 pitches. He's in some traffic there in the 8th inning with 1 out. We thought maybe Doc was going to go get him. Doc went out there, stuck with Trinan, and made great pitches to get the final 2 outs to get out of that inning to give Walker Buehler the chance in the 9th.
Yeah, I love the fact that Doc goes out there. I love the fact that it was a pulse check. It was a health check. It was how's your wind. Remember, this guy covered first base for the first out and had to continue on pitching with that pitch clock. That is not easy. I've been out there after that. You want to visit from your manager. You want to visit from your catcher. You want to visit from your shortstop. But he continued to say, I'll do this. And you know what? He prepared himself. He did it through prayer. He did it through working out. He did it through changing his arsenal now. He knew he doesn't have the 97-mile-an-hour cutter anymore. He knows that the two-seamer moves unbelievable. And what did he do? He went to a new pitch, a big old sweeper that goes the opposite direction of his fastball, which increases his ability to get off the barrel of the bat. A magnificent job from a veteran that did not run out of gas. We've seen in the past, Dodger bullpens have run out of gas in the World Series. We can think about Brandon Morrow when he told him, I can pitch. But you know what? It didn't work out against Houston. But this time, it really worked out, and this guy was the man.
Just look at that last pitch to put him away to get that swing and miss.
On his 42nd pitch of the night.
That was dirty. That was nasty. And are we surprised? Because, man, we've seen a lot of those nasty breaking balls, and the movement on his pitch is incredible.
You know, obviously, Blake Trinan, and remember, Doc goes out there, did not take him. He went out there, looked him in his eyes. He said, you want this. He said, I need this. I want it right now. Sometimes managers have to trust their players. Here's this conversation. Hey, is this your game? Okay, I trust you. And this, forget the analytics. That goes out the window. No analytics when it comes to this stuff. It's all about hearts. Understanding, yes, he may be gassed, but he trusts his guy to make pitches in big spots. Gets a weak fly out from Giancarlo Stanton. Outstanding job and understanding. I'm not going to give anything. Look at that frisbee breaking ball to Anthony Rizzo. Yes, he was running on fumes, but again, Earl, you know this. You could be running on fumes. It doesn't matter. These guys continue to make pitches.
Yeah, the adrenaline, when it hits you, you can have some energy, but what you got to do is know the adrenaline's not going to take me out of my mechanics, not going to make me overthrow. So that veteran that I've been through this before, I've been hurt, I've come back, I've been a closer, I've been a setup guy, I've been whenever they needed me. He said, you know what? The wisdom is there. I can do this, Doc, and he sure did it.
As a fan, that just fired me up to see him say to Doc that he wanted the ball. He wanted to get those final 2 outs, and I imagine it energized his teammates as well. He does get the final 2 outs. He's going to get a chance to have a parade that he didn't have in 2020. He certainly is, and there was so much talk after the Dodgers clinched another bye, and they had those 5 days off, and we know what happened the previous 2 years, and Max Muncy was one of the guys. There were a few of them who tried to rally the troops and say, you know what? I need 3 weeks. He was saying this to his teammates. Just give us 3 weeks to really lock in and focus. And they were sitting together at Dodger Stadium after the workouts, and they ordered food, and they had games, and they had the kids and everyone around. But they were establishing more of that camaraderie during that time while they were off, Oral. And I think some of that paid off here in this October run, the way that they all watched the other playoff games together to see that they were going to be playing the Padres and just spending that time together.
Yeah, you know, team chemistry is a very nebulous thing that can be fleeting. It can be there for a long time, you know, but when you have shared common goals and shared common experiences, you'll always have something to talk about. You can talk about the game, you can talk about your families, you can talk about how much you care about each other, you can talk about things you did together or music you heard, and that makes you all relax and pull on. Like Tommy Lasorda said, everybody needs to pull on one end of the rope, and if we do, we can pull the whole National League West with us, then we'll pull the National League, and then we'll pull our opponent in the World Series, and that's what this team could do. It had that muscle of team chemistry.
I think they learned, to be quite honest with you. You're right. I mean, I think they had the team chemistry. And listen, they've had team chemistry in the years past because you don't get to the postseason year after year after year without having some form of team chemistry. Yep. It just doesn't happen. I mean, you're 162 games. It kind of tells you kind of what their team's kind of made of in order to do that. But they've been doing it year after year after year. But I think what they learned was when, you know, when they got blown up early on to the Padres, and then it happened against the D-backs, they realized that, listen, maybe we lost focus down the stretch. Maybe we lost a little bit because, let's face it, they knew they were going to the postseason, maybe took their foot off the gas. This year, they couldn't do that. They were really going down to the end. But even when they had some time maybe to rest or to kind of take their foot off the gas, they wanted to make sure we didn't. And how we do that is by being together. How we do that is making sure we do those things, that we just stay together. That's what I think when Max went, I need 3 weeks. 3 weeks for us not to turn it off, not to let up, not to take it easy, to stay focused, to stay determined, to keep working. And this is, now they can take the foot off the gas, guys. Now's the time. This is why he was asking for 3 weeks, because there's nothing like this.
And here's the thing. When you have that type of chemistry and you galvanize each other, when Max Muncy and a couple of guys had that speech, when things go wrong or don't go your way, you have each other's back. And I'm saying this, I'm going to say it now. What really changed, too, was when Manny Machado threw that ball at Dave Roberts, their manager. They had a blowout at Dodger Stadium that really galvanized that team together. He goes, you know what, are you going to throw a ball at our manager? We're going to make sure we come back and fight. And here, all right, you in the clubhouse.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I was there the first day you came here with the Angels. So I know this has always been your goal, to win a World Series in the major leagues. Can you tell us what's going on in your heart and mind right now? And if you feel like speaking a bit of English, that would be great. If not, that's good too.
日本語で言いますけどまあ最後まで一番長いシーズンを戦えたことを光栄に思いますし、このチームに来て1年目でこういう結果に立ち会えてすごく光栄だなと思います。
The questions in English. We'll go to Russ in the second row on your left, guys.
Shohei, this season started out kind of tumultuous for you in Korea with Ippe's situation and your first year with the Dodgers. Getting from that moment to right now, mentally, what was this year like for you, and how were you able to get to this point?
シーズンもシーズンで苦しい中でも首位でやっぱり勝ち抜いて、チームの強さがあったと思いますし、ポストシーズンも素晴らしいチームを相手にしながら自分たちの野球ができたということに誇りを、持ってますし、今日こういうふうに最後まで、勝ち切れたっていうのが本当に、このチーム誇りに思ってます。
We'll go to Clinton on your left, guys.
Sure, you took over the leadoff spot with a guy like Mookie Betts on your team, who literally leads the franchise in leadoff home runs, and you've also got a Freddie Freeman with you as well. What's it like now that you've won playing with guys of that caliber in terms of the type of teammates they are and what you've learned from them over the course of the season?
まあ今までも素晴らしい選手の、皆さんと野球やらせてもらって本当に自分の野球、感というか自分の野球の技術も上げてくれるようなそういう素晴らしい選手たちとやらせてもらって、フレディと、ムーキはもちろんそうですけど、本当に1番から9番までオフェンス面で言えば、本当に自分の仕事をプロフェッショナルにこなしていく、そういう選手たちが集まっていたなとは、今考えてもそう思います。
I know that in Japan, right, the teams do the celebratory beer celebrations a little bit differently. I was just kind of wondering, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the way they do it in Japan or the way they do it here?
WBC の時もやりましたけど、日本の場合はもうちょっと控えめな感じはあるので、こっちの方がなんていうんですかね、豪快にというか、そういう。楽しみ方っていうのは人それぞれですけど、本当に最後こういう形でシーズンを終えられたっていうことが本当に嬉しく思います。
We'll take a last question in English on the third row on your right with Ben.
Can you describe the emotions today as your team fell behind 5-0 and then you were gradually able to come back?
やっぱり得点した回、5点取った回すごく大きかったですし、結果的にエラーももちろん相手のエラーもあったと思うんですけど、全員がそのボールに対して、必死に食らいついた結果がああいう風な形でチャンスをものにできたんじゃないかなと思うので、本当に素晴らしい、オフェンスのつなぎ方だったなと思います。
There he is, Shohei Ohtani, talking about being a World Series champion for the first time. Came here on a $700 million contract. The largest in the history of professional team sports. And I imagine, Nomar, that had to have come with some amount of pressure. And if he was feeling any pressure, he never showed it because he did things we've never even seen before during this regular season with his 54 home runs, 59 stolen bases, and very deserving of celebrating that championship tonight.
Some, John, I think he came in with a lot. I mean, all eyes, everything that he has to endure. I mean, I don't think people can really understand and fathom exactly what he's. There's a few people probably on the planet who can actually understand, like Michael Jordan, you got Tiger Woods, you got Wayne, you got these guys who, wherever they go, that's what Shohei is, especially over there in Japan. And then all the following, and it just, even for all his teammates, everything changed this year because of the following. The Dodger organization had to make a few alterations too. The amount of media, the amount of eyes, everything, all about it was different. But at the same time, though, I think what was so great was the way he connected with his teammates. I think the way the teammates made sure that he made sure he was felt welcome, that just because of all the attention, he's not different, that just because that you're Shohei Ohtani, that you're going to be a part of what we're all about, and we're going to make sure you feel that welcome. And I think he opened up. I think he embraced it, and I think that was a critical part for him too. He talked about it. He was just saying how, being a part of this and what they allow him to do. Not only, I think he found another gear and found something within himself because he was a part of this organization. He talked about the professionalism that helped him, that kind of grow in there, but also just some of the talent and being able to go out there and focus just from the offensive side and saying wanting to be better. And man, we haven't even seen him pitch in that Dodger uniform. Yeah, oh my goodness. But at the same time, like I said, I think there was just so much that's another thing you have to endure. And these guys were able to adapt to that as well, which isn't easy. And they did it together.
It is one thing to want superstar players. It's another thing to go out and become the highest paid player. It's another thing to not be a distraction.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be an impact player and not be a distraction. And I think that's what having a new interpreter helped him with. I think that's what the Dodger culture with Dave Roberts and Andrew Friedman and Mark Walter and everybody as they welcomed him with open arms. And I think you can receive love when it's actually going on around you and it's not perfectly about just you. It's happening for everybody. It's not special treatment for Shohei Ohtani. It's special treatment being a Dodger.
Yeah.
Dave, how can you describe what that game was like to go through and how you felt at the end?
I definitely didn't plan it out this way. Certainly a lot of emotions from the way it started to certainly the way it finished. And I'm just so grateful to be in this chair and what our guys did, the resilience, the fight that they had. Certainly all the momentum was on the side of the Yankees, and Garrett was throwing the heck out of the baseball, and for us to, just keep scratching and clawing, and we were just kind of to the last guy available. And so to see what Walker did, what Blake did, all those guys, and then the big at-bats to get us back in the game was just huge.
But what was that fifth inning like to go through when they start making mistakes? Like, could your guys kind of just sense like that was the opportunity to make something happen?
Yeah, we did, and obviously, the inning before, Aaron makes a great play off of Freddie's bat, and just didn't make a play right there, and we just got a break on the covering first base, and so we got a couple extra outs, and it was just good, when you give a good team extra outs, and it was just great for us to take advantage of it.
The last row on your left, Chelsea.
How long was Walker going to be able to go? Was there a situation where was it just an inning with the side day thing? Or?
It was one inning, and so that's why it was huge that Blake could get Stanton and then punch out Rizzo right there. So that was just our last bullet in the sense of with the lead.
Up front on your right, AJ.
When you were game planning, did Walker come up at any point, or did that happen within the game?
That happened within the game. Seventh inning, he just said that he's going to be available, and I didn't see that even coming into play. But obviously, as the game sort of went out, had it played on, we had to keep the game close, and our guys were fighting, and so I just felt that at that point in time, I was going to be all in.
Seems somewhat self-explanatory, but what about him makes you confident in handing him the ball in a spot like that when he's?
I just think that the experience, the pedigree. We were all in at that point in time, and he wanted the baseball. And I just felt that he wasn't going to run from the moment, and I just felt he was the best option.
Third row on your left, if.
So, pitching-wise, what was your plan if the game had gone to extra innings?
I would have probably had Hudson pitch the 10th, and then Kasperius, who threw 2 innings, 50-something pitches, throw the 11th, yeah.
Got Clinton right in front of you.
Hey, Doc. Mookie had such a workman-like day-to-day in terms of beating the ball out to first base, getting the go-ahead run on the sac fly. Can you tell me a little bit about his playoff performance, not just tonight, but in general, as he's done everything he's done?
It's great. I'm he's one of the guys I'm really excited for because going into the postseason, that's all people are talking about is how he didn't perform, and to be able to kind of block out all that noise and still focus on helping us win baseball games. There's not a guy that cares more, and he's a very talented player, and hopefully we can keep this narrative quiet for a little bit because he did everything and played both sides of the baseball. He made some big plays defensively and offensively. He came up big.
We'll stay there with Russ.
Dave, this season started off what you'd call rocky with your situation in Korea, Mookie break his hand, the starting pitching, Freddie's ankle. Is there a point throughout the year where you wonder if it's all too much and you guys can get through it? And what point did you realize that this group could get to this point?
Well, you know what? We did go through a lot, Russ, but I'll still say that we still had the best record in all of baseball this year. And so it wasn't easy, but our guys fought and played every day the right way, played to win. There was a lot of backfilling on talent because of, injury. A lot of young players cut their teeth, which is good. But, one thing is that we just kept going. And so even in the postseason, I don't think anyone had us picked. I don't think they had us picked to get out of the first series. So, for us to go out there and fight and scratch and claw and win 11 games in October, that's a credit to our guys.
Fifth row on your right, Jay.
Yeah, when you mapped this out with your pitching, knowing how yesterday went, was there anything in your mind, scenario-wise, that you saw having to take Flaherty out as early as you did, and how you were going to navigate the remainder of those 27 outs?
No, there wasn't. And obviously, if I have to use potential Game 7 starter in the 9th inning, that just speaks to we didn't have enough pitching. So I was trying to get as much as I could out of Jack.
We'll go to Daniel, Dylan, then Daniel. Dylan is further back.
Dave, you mentioned Mookie in the last couple of years. How much do you think those experiences, those failures kind of contributed to him performing the way he did this October?
I think it has something to do with it. I think it was certainly, it's been on his mind, all year as far as once we get to the postseason, it doesn't matter until I perform in the postseason, all that stuff that he was saying. So I just felt that, He was in a good spot mechanically, but I liked the fight. There was just a lot of fight. He was willing himself to having good at-bats and productive at-bats, and so he threw out some hits and scored some runs and did a lot of good things, but that probably had something to do with it.
And just kind of simply, how happy are you for Ohtani?
I'm thrilled. There's 6 years in the States, arguably the best player in the big leagues, and so he committed to us and he wanted to play for a championship, and so for it to kind of come to fruition in his first year is pretty remarkable. And what Shohei's done to our ball club, the Dodger fan base, domestically, globally, I just don't think you can quantify. And he's just such a good guy. He was playing with one arm in the postseason, and so most guys would probably tap out, but he was going to be not denied at playing and posting and being in the lineup. And so for him to hoist that World Series trophy, that's something he dreamed of, I'm sure, for quite some time.
Daniel in the right corner.
Dave, on this Friday is going to be the parade in LA. Also this Friday is Fernando Valenzuela's number 64 birthday. So how special would it be celebrating the championship, but also remembering Fernando?
It's going to be emotional. Fernando was a friend of mine. I know he's smiling right now and very proud of this organization. And so he's going to be missed. I'm sure it's something that he would want to have been a part of, but it's going to be emotional for all of us.
In the left corner, Bradford.
Dave, for you personally, the list of managers in the long history of baseball that have won more than one World Series isn't that long. And it's all Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers, including 2 Dodgers and Walter Austin and Tommy Lasorda. What does it mean to you to join that club?
Humbling. Never thought I would be in that same conversation. I'm a part of a great organization, a lot of great people around me supporting me, and we've won a lot of ball games, and this is something I really wanted. I wanted this one. There were some guys that were here with me in 20, and you hear some naysayers, and so we didn't get the parade that I've been talking about the last week, and so I'm proud of a lot of guys. I mean, the list goes on for the players that put me in this position.
We'll go to the second row on your right, Dave.
Shohei didn't give up even though he had a shoulder issue, and he was really competitive even though he couldn't really contribute to the at-bat. But how that gutsy attitude helped the team for the fighting?
It helped us because if Shohei is in the lineup, it still is a presence. And I think that with what Freddie was going through, certainly helped Shohei and convinced Shohei to be in the lineup too. And I just think he earned even more respect from his teammates by being able to play, with one arm.
Go far back on your right with Bill.
Yeah, we have talked about this in the past, Dave, how much it irritated you to hear people say 11 straight postseason berths, only one title, only one. How do you feel about that criticism now?
I'm going to take the high road. It's hard to win a championship, regardless of, what your team is like. It's hard, and there's a reason why there hasn't been a repeat champion since the Yankees did it. And so it clearly speaks to the playoff format, all that stuff. And so I'm going to be in the moment, and I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this one. And I'm sure there's no asterisk on this one.
And Andrew said Shohei told him in the clubhouse, let's do this 9 more times. Do you feel the pressure of 9 more times?
I don't want to get to pressure yet. I've dealt with pressure quite a bit. I'm going to enjoy this one. But, once we get to spring training, that's certainly going to be the goal, yes.
The 2 last ones, Jack, on your left.
To kind of piggyback off that, like Andrew's talked about wanting this to be a golden era of Dodger baseball. Does a second title and kind of the way you guys did it this year feel like it cements that a little bit?
I think so. I mean, I think we have the best organization in baseball. With consistency, but you still got to go out there and play the schedule, and we have great ownership, great front office, and we got great coaches and great players, and but we still got to perform. But I think that we're on our way.
I'll finish in the third row on your far right.
Hi, Dave. Congratulations. I saw Aaron Boone waiting outside of your clubhouse. And did you meet him after the game? And how special it was compete against each other?
I did. Aaron is an absolute professional. He sought me out, wanted to congratulate me personally,
And so we have a long history of competing against one another, a mutual respect. And I think Aaron's the only one in baseball that can really relate to my job in the sense of either win a World Series championship or you failed and you're not doing a good job in the respective markets. And so, you know, sports is tough. There's always a winner, there's a loser. But I love competing against Aaron, and I think he's done a fantastic job with his ball club.
To the victor go the spoils, the first step. Tonight's celebration, the next one. Finally, the parade we've all been waiting for, the Dodgers World Series Championship Parade and victory celebration at Dodger Stadium on Friday. There are plenty more details to come tomorrow, but get ready to party on Friday. We'll have live coverage of all of it right here on Sportsnet LA, and we have a view of the parade map in case you are wondering, and we want to see hundreds of thousands of people out there. It's going to go from City Hall to the LA Library, and then at some point after they make it to the LA Library, they will come back to Dodger Stadium for a huge rally. And Jerry, this has been a long time coming for the city of Los Angeles, 36 years since they've been able to have a Dodgers World Series Championship parade. I can't wait.
And again, these fans deserve it. The players deserve it. They cannot wait to come back. They'll be coming back tonight or early tomorrow morning to party in LA. Parade is going to be epic.
It really is. I mean, this is just so exciting, you know. It's hard to believe it's come to this. Sometimes, guarantee we're kind of pinching ourselves. Did this really happen? It did, because of their perseverance, their hard work, what they did on a daily basis, and also for all you fans, the support. Like we always say, make no mistake, it is important. And congratulations, you're champions.
It is time to celebrate, and this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, but for this team, there's a few of them have done it twice, and Dave Roberts has done it as a player and now 2 times as a manager. They are going to enjoy the celebration, the parade, the rally. They're going to enjoy every part of it. It's going to bring back a lot of memories for me.
And we see you have the Fernando button on as well, and the parade's going to happen on what would have been Fernando's 64th birthday. And Jerry, you were saying to us privately before this game, if the Dodgers win, this might go down as the greatest Dodger team of all time. And that's saying a lot. And what's amazing about this team, whether they are the greatest or not, this team wasn't even whole when they won this World Series in October.
Well, they were talented, obviously the superstar power, but I just love the way they persevered throughout the season. They beat a really good Padres team, a really hot Mets team, and they go into the Bronx and beat a really good New York Yankee team. They go out and win the game. Garrett Cole pitched for the Yankees. Again, listen, they can make their case to be one of the greatest Dodger teams ever.
Yeah, you know that always comes afterwards. Everybody wants to know, you know.
Gotta win it.
I'm one of those that say, you know what, don't compare. Who cares? Celebrate this one. Right. They're World Series champs. That's all that matters. And once again, they just continued the tradition. Oro was a part of it as well. That's what it's about, the city of champions.
Don't ask them if they can repeat. Let them enjoy this for a while. We'll talk about that later. Congratulations, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Shohei already told Andrew Freeman he wants to do it 9 more times. For Jerry, Nomar, Oral, Kirsten, and David Bassett, I'm John. Thanks for watching. Your Dodgers are the World Series champions. We'll see you Friday at the parade.
大谷翔平選手、そして山本由伸選手の2名が移籍初年度でワールドチャンピオンに輝くという偉業を達成し、彼らの幼少期からの夢が叶ったことを本当に嬉しく思います。ロバーツ監督も片腕の中でよく戦ったと話していましたが、怪我をしてからは思うようなスイングができない中、本当に最後まで粘り強く戦い抜き、素晴らしい優勝だったと思います。そして山本由伸選手は散々言われましたが、最後の2戦の好投は凄まじいものだったと思います。来年は大谷選手もローテーション復帰してくれれば、とてつもない投手陣になりそうですね。この後は選手たちの喜びインタビューだけを抜粋したお酒のお供に最高な動画をお届けいたしますのでお楽しみに。それでは次回の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。ドジャース優勝おめでとう。